Hello everyone, it's StealthyBoy99 here, and first of all, I'm gonna acknowledge that it's been a long time since the last time I posted a video. I can kind of explain. I basically just didn't play much Bedwars or Minecraft during the summer. I was at the beginning, and then I basically started doing other things. But I'm hoping to get back into it so I can make more videos. But anyways, in this video, someone asked me to show my settings, my Lunar client settings. So I'll just in Minecraft settings. So I'll just show everything in this video. It should be pretty quick. I would say do be expecting like new videos of actual Bedwars gameplay because I do want to do that. But I said I would make this video, so I'll just do it now. And so they have changed since the last time I posted a video, but not much. So I'll start off with Minecraft settings. So I think video settings are going to be like the most important. So graphics fancy, honestly you can probably go with just fast. I personally do not see a difference when I do that, but it also doesn't change my FPS much. So yeah, that's that. Oh, and FOV is 85. I'll show like my FOV mod settings too. Smooth lighting is minimum. Smooth lighting level is 100, but I don't know exactly like what that means, like what it adds up to, but 100 is good for me. For the GUI or GUI scale, I use normal. I think it's a little weird when people do what is it? I think it's just large. The hotbar looks like so big, and all of the like Lunar client mods look super big. So that's why I go with just normal. I mean, normal should be default. I don't know for sure, but I think it's much better. For brightness, I would have bright, dynamic lights, fast. I'll get into shaders in a second. Details, I haven't really changed anything, but I would say keep sky off, because if you have sky on, then the bottom part here will not show up. I can really quickly show that. Yeah, it will not show, so make sure you have that. A lot of people don't know that. Cooldowns951 made a video on it a long time ago, but with his channel down, like it's just gone, so a lot of people don't know that. And then my render distance, I use 12, and Bedwars, like I think that's enough. Frame rate limiting is non-existent, so it's unlimited. View bobbing, I turn it off and on. I personally like it on. I think it looks better, but it does mess up a little bit with my bridging, especially when I'm trying to go fast. And so yeah, I turn that off sometimes, mainly like for Bedwars, but if I'm just like doing PvP like duels, then I will turn it on. VBOs, I have that on. Alternative blocks I have on. Dynamic FOV I have on. I used to have it off for a while, but when it came to making videos, and maybe even PvP, I think I like it better on. You can see that my FOV changes a little bit, and so that's on. Quality, I haven't really changed anything. I do use anti-aliasing, but I use it in my shaders, so I don't use it here. I don't think you even can. Custom colors on. I think a lot of these are default, so I'll just go over what's not default. Connected textures, I put it to fast. I put most of my settings to be just fast. I'll get into why in a second. Smooth FPS I have off. I mean, you could have it on. It would give you more consistent FPS, but I don't mind like peaking and going down. I don't notice a huge difference, so I just turn that off. Fast render, I think this doesn't work with shaders. Yeah, so I have that off. Dynamic updates off. Lazy chunk loading on. Fast math on. Sorry, I'm doing this in a weird order, but that's basically everything that's not default, I'm pretty sure. Other, I don't think I use anything here. Yeah, I don't. And so yeah, when it comes to shaders, I was using, so my first few videos I used Silder's basic shaders, and that looks really good. It's a bit too bright for me, a little too colorful, so I then just went to internal, and that's a little bit too like bland for me. Looks a little like gloomy and sad. And so then I found this shader. I might link it down in the description, but basically you can change the options of saturation and contrast. The only thing I change is saturation. It defaults to 0.5, which looks normal, like no shaders. And so I increased it a little bit, and so it basically is not too colorful, but it is more colorful. So I've been using that for the past couple days, and I really like it. And it also gives me pretty good FPS. Another thing that's important is render quality. I have it set to 1. This affects your FPS like a lot, so be careful with that. I was using like 1.6 or something like that, but it gets more difficult when I use like high resolution texture packs, so I just keep it at 1, and it's pretty okay. I think it's fine. Onto Lunar settings, so this could take a little longer. I do have 1.7 visuals on. The only animation I don't have on is sneaking. I personally like the 1.8, so I don't know if you can tell, that's like, it's really fast, it's really sharp. The movement doesn't seem like it's taking a long time, but 1.7, it's like a bit of a longer, it seems like a longer animation to me. And so when it comes to bridging, I like the 1.8 one better. The hit armor color, that's not too important. I changed it around a lot, but I basically just like went to red and then put it over here and lower the opacity. And so then if I just like get a pig right here, you can see what, oh wait, well, it doesn't work well with the pig because they are already basically my hit color. Let's do a, wait, no, that doesn't work either. Okay, let's do a sheep. There we go. And so like, it's not quite just red, but it's, you can tell it's there. FPS, I do have that on, it's right here. And then you can see my scales that I use. I don't use the text shadow. Does that look like? Yeah, it looks a bit weird if you don't change the color, so I just keep that off. Show background, that allows me to put this red background here. Background height 18, background width 56. I'll just like say the numbers for this one, and then you can just look at it because that would take a little too long. The border is on. I personally like the borders on it. I can't do it in the CPS for some reason, but I can for everything else. The text color is just black, the background color is red, and the border color is white. So pretty simple there. CPS is like the same thing. I have it right here, and a lot of these numbers are the same, just to keep it consistent. Toggle, I only use toggle sprint, not toggle sneak. I used to use R for sprint, but then like I got over that because I could only strafe like this way, and so it got like weird, and I felt like I couldn't be as competitive in PvP. So I just have toggle sprint on, and I never untoggle it. So every time I open Lunar, I toggle it on, and I never untoggle it. So yeah. Then zoom, that's just like Optifine zoom. I have that set to C. Actually, I should go back to my controls. I'll do that at the end. And then toggle zoom, I don't use that. I turned off my smooth zoom, smooth camera movement off for a little while, but it made it harder, like for making videos when I'm doing like this or something. I might try it, but for now I've been using that. So let's just turn that back on. Zoom level, I just left it to default, and then I have C is my key for zooming in and out. And then no skyblock add-ons for me. Keystrokes, I have that on. Like I said, I don't think you can do borders on it. You can on Badline, and that's something I liked about Badline, but it's not a huge deal, really. So yeah, I like the WASD rather than the arrows, so at least I think I do. Maybe that looks pretty good, but that's what I'm doing. I include the spacebar in there. Sometimes I don't, like my character does not jump, and so I replay, I see if it even registered, so yeah, it's not a big deal, but I do have that there. Same colors as everything else, basically. It is like white when I move it around, so yeah, it looks kind of cool. Moving on to the armor status, that's just this thing over here. That's pretty basic. I just like put it over there. I didn't really change anything. Yeah, you can just toggle that on, change the scale a bit, and move it over here. And then potion effects, I have that, it's right here on the left side. I don't think I changed anything. Yeah, I didn't change anything there. Waypoints, I have that on, but I don't use that, so I'm just gonna turn it off. Scoreboard, not much different. On Hypixel, you won't notice much of a difference, except I would highly recommend doing hide numbers. Hypixel has it, like a lot of servers have it, where they just have numbers on the side, but they don't mean anything, so I just have that off. I don't use a border. I think it looks more clean without it. Potion counter, I have it right here. It's like the same thing as everything else, but I don't have a background. At least the background isn't white. It's like a almost transparent, just a little bit. It adds a little bit of darkness. I'm pretty sure. I can raise that up. Yeah, so it really doesn't do anything. I use that sometimes when I'm like doing pop PvP, but that is not very often. So yeah, that's almost never used. And then ping, I actually use that a lot because my ping is very inconsistent. It goes up and down like a lot. I think I peaked at 900 ping one time, so. Although, you know what, no, I think I've gotten over 1 second ping, so. Yeah, I use that definitely. And same settings as everything else. And then motion blur. This one is very, very important to me. I use between 6 and 7. I think 7's a little too high for me. So I just use 6. It basically allows the game to look like this. This motion blur is not like post-processing. It is all in-game, and so I know some people don't like in-game motion blur, but I personally really like it. I feel like I cannot see anything if I turn it off. I don't know, that's just me. I cannot see clearly if I have it off. Like, that's without it, and it looks, in my opinion, bad. I think the motion blur just really increases the quality of it. Your FPS, keep in mind, your FPS matters a lot for motion blur, and so does old blur. Keep it off. Old blur would make it look just different, but I would say the newer one is much better. So that's off. I would say if you're getting, right now I'm getting like 300 FPS, but that's because well, not even 300, but I think it's because I'm recording. But I would say if you're getting 300 FPS and above, you can put it like 6 or higher. I wouldn't say put it at 8. I think 8 is too much, but 6 and 7 look pretty good. If you're getting like 100 FPS, 5 might be okay. 5 is a little low for me. I like just a little bit more. And so your FPS matters a lot because it will look like too blurry if you, but not in a good way, if you have not enough FPS really. I missed the Hypixel mods actually. That's basically it. Just level head and auto tip. That's it. Chat, I do have that on. I just have the filters on there. Not much different. I kept it almost default. Nametag mod, third person name tag, I do have that on. I have apostrophe as my toggle for on and off. No, zero opacity. I used to use the name tag text shadow, but I turned that off. And then scrollable tooltips, I don't use that. I don't even know what that is. And then cooldowns, actually I don't know what that's for. I think it might be, you know what, yeah, it's this thing. It's for like your pearls when you're doing pop PvP. And then the particle multiplier, that is, I just have these on. I change it every now and then. I used to increase my particles, but then I realized I couldn't see anything when I was fighting, so that's what I did. Memory usage, I just have that right here. Same exact settings as everything else, especially like this one. And then combo counter, I have that right here. It's not really useful for like Hypixel because on Hypixel, you can barely get a combo above 3, so it's like for other servers. Time changer, that's, I mean, they're releasing settings for that, so yeah. I'm using Bombi's 80k pack in rose gold, so it looks really, really cool. I'm gonna change that back. And then what's next? Item physics, I have that on. That's just like when you drop items. Like if I drop this here, it doesn't look like normal. It's not floating in the air. And so I like that. You might not, but I think it looks pretty good. Block outline, I just have a black outline. I used to use the red color also, like a slight bit of red to it, but I turned that off. It doesn't look bad. I'm trying different settings. Block overlay, yeah. And then FOV mod, this one is also pretty important to me. So if I turn this off, well, first of all, if I leave it on, it looks like this. And then if I turn it off, it should, like, the change in FOV when I sprint is like much greater. So the way I change that is I have the default FOV. I have all my FOVs set the same, whether it's default, speed, sprinting, flying, it's all 85. But what's important is I lower my aiming multiplier to 0.5. That's the lowest, I'm pretty sure, besides 0. So that will allow your FOV to change a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I totally know what I'm talking about, but that's what it does. It reduces the amount of change in your FOV. Actually, I didn't have that on for speed, but that was an accident. So I have all my settings the same across all of them, but it still looks different because of that multiplier thing. Alright, and then after FOV mod, Freelook. Freelook, I'm gonna be honest, I don't use it that often, but I use V as my key. I use it only like if I'm walking in a straight bridge or something. That's pretty much the only time I use it. Maybe if I'm breaking a bed, but yeah, definitely not very often. I use toggle perspective much more often. What's next? Actually, that's it. Yep, that's it. Okay, now moving on to my controls, and that should be the last thing. Yeah, well, actually chat settings too. You can just copy that if you want. I barely changed it. Controls. Alright, these are my hotkeys. I don't think I've ever shown these before. So I use R for my first slot, 2 and 3 for hotbar slot 2 and 3. For my fourth slot, I have my mouse button, and then my side mouse button. That is for my blocks. I use hotbar slot 5 is middle click, and then hotbar slot 6 is my second side button, and then for number 7 I use alt, and then number 8 I use G, 9 is F, and I'm pretty sure that's the only main difference besides like zooming in and toggle perspective. Toggle perspective is X. I think it's pretty convenient for me, so that is what I use. So that's pretty much it for this video. I will be making other videos soon, hopefully. Yeah, keep that in mind, and hopefully it gets recommended. I have not posted in almost, well, yeah, like 2 months now, and so I assume that my videos are not going to get recommended well, so we'll see how this goes, but I hope this helps, and hope you like these settings. So I'll see you guys later, and bye.